Hey Clasher, we're upgrading from Town Hall 14 to Town Hall 15 in this video, but with the announcement yesterday that Town Hall 16 is around the corner most likely, we have to go a really long way, and for that, what do we need? That's right, we need offers to speed things up, because my goal, my project is to get this account to being maxed out. I know that this is still a long journey, but hey, we take the time, and until that, we're going to go with every single offer there is in the shop, and which I've collected over the last couple of weeks. At the point where this video is released, by the way, you should have the Black Friday offers in the shop as well, which you can buy if you want to, and if you want to as well, you can support your favorite content creator out there with using code iTzu. You can support me and this channel. I really appreciate that. With that being said, let's get the last couple of offers, and then we should have the upgrade to Town Hall 15, and then we should do the first couple of steps to prepare perfectly to upgrade Town Hall 15, then hopefully in the future possibly Town Hall 16, whenever that is going to happen. For now, we have the Town Hall 15, which means a couple of things are boosted, which is quite nice. But what is even more nice is, well, hopefully a quick upgrade progression, because we need to use those magic items. Another really cool thing is whenever you're upgrading to a new town level, you get a Town Hall specific offer. And obviously, we're going to buy that as well to make sure that our progress is as quickly as possible. With buying that, we can place now those two buildings. But before we're doing that, let's quickly check, because I'm getting so many questions always when I'm doing those gemming spree videos. It's like, iTzu, how can you actually get across this magic item limit? Well, it's actually kind of easy. Whenever you're buying offers, you are getting further than the limit. So for example, if you have already one book of heroes, for example, and then you're buying an offer, it's getting stacked on top of that. So if you're thinking about buying, for example, the Black Friday offers, make sure that you're checking your gold pass first if you might have bought that, or the silver pass, for example. So if there's any magic items in there, make sure that you're collecting those first, because otherwise you cannot stack them from the magic pass, or like from the gold pass, I'm sorry. So this means that if you have the magic item in the gold pass, this means collect it first, otherwise it is the stacking ability of offers is gonna go to waste. And I mean, there's the perfect preparation for a possible Town Hall 16 with buying those offers. And well, but now, let's get things going, okay? We have upgraded, so let's make sure that we're placing our buildings. So let's do that thing first. First off, let's place the spell tower. A really important thing, I mean, where do we place the builder? I would just place it in the middle, so we have some repairing going on as we upgrade the builder. But then, let's just place the tower behind the town hall. I think the rage tower is kind of useless, because whenever someone is attacking with sneaky goblins, the Rage Tower does nothing, so we're just using the anti-sneaky Goblin Tower, which is the Poison Tower, and then we place the Monolith as well. But one thing about the Spell Tower, which I feel like a lot of people don't really know about, is how it works when you're upgraded. Because the only thing which you get from upgrading the Spell Tower is, well, pretty simple. It is only unlocking the next spell. And this is exactly what we're going to do with the next spell tower, because we have bought already the first spell tower with the offer, and it's already down level 3, so we have unlocked every single spell from that spell tower. But with upgrading that spell tower, the spells are not getting any stronger. And right now, the rage is kind of, I'd like to call it busted, because it's just so insanely strong. So you don't really get anything from upgrading your spell towers, so this shouldn't really be your priority. It's all about just placing the spell tower itself to unlock the rage in that defense. And for us, well, that's kind of it. Like, we don't need the Invis Poison Tower, at least for now. Hopefully there are balance changes after the World Championship, so to make things change a little bit. For now, Rage Tower is all you need, and that's exactly what we're going to do with just leaving that second Spell Tower on level 1. But what do we do next? There's just so many things in Town Hall 15 to upgrade. Compared to Town Hall 14, Town Hall 15 is just so much bigger. It's crazy. It is insane how much you can upgrade. Obviously, we need to upgrade all of those storages, but as well, we have to upgrade the army camps, the clan castle, the lab. We could keep going on. Like, you have to upgrade so many basic buildings to increase your offensive strength or like capacity in general. It is crazy. But I think one thing we have to do as well first, and really early on, is upgrading the lab. Because upgrading the lab, while you have still some upgrades going, it's just perfect. Because what it does, kind of simple, in the background, while you're upgrading the building, the upgrades from the lab, as far as I know, they'll keep going. So when we have an upgrade of 9 days, for example, the lab is still working, and the E-Dragon, which took like 6 days or something, is still working in the background, which is awesome for us. Then we can use like some boost, like the bitter potion, and then we're getting rid of 3 days, and then both things are going to finish at the same time. That's kind of how I envision it. Let's hope that that's going to be how it works. But for now, next thing, army camps, really high priority. And there's so much to do with Elixir because, well, it's the army camps. With gold, I think the first building we can efficiently put magic items into is the eagle. But for now, what should we do actually next with our resources? And the resources are not as great anymore. But don't worry, we have still some resources in our treasury, which means the clan castle is full. We take the resources. But still, we don't really have that many resources to build most of the things I would like to, because I want to spend some books. Because I will need to collect the books from the gold pass. I have not done that before. I did a small mistake there. Which means, that's right, we have to somehow spend them to use then the books from the gold pass, which would be kind of crucial. An important building to upgrade first is obviously the clan castle, is one of the most key things. And then things you can upgrade and use books on are like scatter shots, eagle, and so on. We have still a couple of resources in our gold pass, which is quite nice. But still, for that, we need to do a farming attack, I feel like, to really increase our resources even better. And I mean, there's nothing, like there's no better feeling than going into an attack, waiting for a couple of minutes, because, well, let's be honest, it always takes some time, but then finding a loot attack like this. And one thing I would love to hear your opinion about is, yes, Lava Loon was kinda fun, but as well, like for farming, for example. But I have to say, Sneaky Goblins feel better. Or am I just wrong with that? I mean, with the Lava Loon, it was more like, okay, as soon as you found a base, which has a lot of resources, you're just going to try to triple it and try to take all of the resources. With the Sneaky Goblins, it's really dedicated that you can even snipe certain buildings out. Like, for example, someone has an exposed Dark Elixir storage, you can snipe that and you can just give up after that. Yes, it's like losing you trophies. Who cares about those trophies, right? Like, it's all about the resources which you can gain. So, I have to say Sneaky Goblins, in my opinion, are just more fun to play for farming, because you still have to use... I mean, using your brain is maybe an overstatement, but at least you have to use your brain more than playing Lava Loon, okay? Like, that's all what I'm saying. So for us, this means... looking good. Let's collect those resources to make sure that we can upgrade some nice buildings, because as I said, Clan Castle and those heavy-hitting defenses are next on the menu for us to upgrade. So, let's start things off. Let's double check. Okay, the eagle is a bit too expensive. We can still use, for example, the hammer on that later on. But I think that scatter is just perfect for us. Let's just use that right there for this one. And obviously then use the hammer as well to make sure that it's quickly finished. With that, well, what is next? That's right, the eagle is a bit too expensive. We can still use a rune of gold if we want to. But the next thing should be for sure the clan castle. The clan castle is such a game changer. Increasing that and your army camps, obviously, that should be always one of your highest priorities. Whenever you're getting into a new new town level, always the first things you should check is like army camps, clan castle, and lab. I feel like those are one of the key things you should check when it comes down to your army, to your offensive strength. Otherwise, one thing which is getting really underestimated a lot of times are the storages. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, because for now, let's use some runes and let's make sure that we can spend some more resources onto our buildings, because this is what this video is all about, right? Like, this is what this is all about. We want to spend some magic items, we want to spend some gems, we want to spend some resources, and that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's do it next, though. Yep, that's another problem. As soon as I reach the town level 14, more like 15, because the town of 14, there's only one really important pet. But as soon as I reach the town level 15, that was pet house level. Oh my goodness. The first one already takes above 15 days, which is long. That's really long. But all of those pets you need quite badly. I mean, all of those pets are incredibly strong, and I really want to make sure that you're upgrading those. But for us right now, what are we going to upgrade next? I think let's start things off with the gold. Let's spend that first. I think we could go for another scatter. And then use our hammer on the eagle, which we have already done. We have already used the eagle, upgrade the eagle. So let's do the elixir first, which is the dark elixir storage. You might be surprised, okay? But whenever I go to a new town level, whenever I try to upgrade something, I feel like always the dark elixir is the biggest thing and the biggest problem to farm, especially Town of 15. All of the pets, all of the hero levels, it is crazy how much you need. So with gemming a lot, with buying a lot of offers, Dark Elixir runes need to have as much value as possible. And that's why I'm even investing a book. Even though mathematically it's not really worth it, right? Because that was 12 days and a scatter takes like way longer, like 15 days, for example. So this takes way longer. It will be a 3-day better investment, but I just think using runes more efficiently is just way better. With that being said, though, let's just use the remaining gold things we have, and then I think we should start upgrading the storages, because this is like the thing. If you're not gemming a lot, if you're not investing a lot of magic items, the storages are not the craziest priority, okay? It's like nice to get those done to upgrade the expensive buildings, but as soon as, well, those buildings... I mean, the expensive buildings are not always the buildings which you need to upgrade first, always. So with that being said, the storages, if you're a free-to-play player, you can kind of do that as a second or third thing. More important are a lot of times the army things, like army camp, offense, for example. But if you want to gem a lot, like invest runes and things like that, those storages need to be upgraded. That's really important. Now, at this point, though, we have already 2 scatters done. We have the Eagle done, we have the Clan Castle done, and we have the Dark Elixir storage done. And I think at this point, we should really make sure that we're upgrading the next couple of things. And by now, you can see already, we need to speed things up quite a bit because we have 14 days left. Right at this point where I'm recording this, I have 14 days left. And we still need to make sure that we're investing all of those runes, because I need to make sure that we're collecting those. If they go into waste, that would be really bad. I mean, that would be really, truly bad. But with that being said, I feel like we just invest the elixir into the gold storage upgrade, and then maybe just use some builder potions, right? Because we have already planned on using builder potions for our lab, because we have the lab upgrading at the same time, and in the lab itself, we have the upgrades going. So we want to use that potion anyways. So I think that's the best thing we can possibly do at this point. And maybe after that, yes, we still have some runes left, but I feel like after that, we should just let things rest a little bit, because even though, yes, I want to gem, I want to make it as efficient as possible. I'm kind of like a fan of that, trying to make things as efficient as possible as well, while obviously spending some magic items in this one as well. But at this point, let's use the builder potions, and that's pretty much it. And this means we're kind of done with this account for now. But at the same time, because I get a lot of times the question, iTzu, how is your main account looking? Well, that's the answer. My main account is looking stacked. And when hopefully Town of 16 might be released in December already, then we have a really fun gemming video. Let's see how far we can make it with all of those items. And I can still buy the Black Friday items, Black Friday offers, which I for sure will do. And if you will do that as well, if you want to do that as well, make sure to support your favorite content creator out there. If you want to support me and this channel, make sure to use code iTzu. I really appreciate that. I will see you guys back tomorrow with the next class video. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.